Okay, so we went through in the previous video the head and neck and tying it to the feet and getting it soft, and so now I want to talk about breaking the shoulders free. And this part of the front still deals with the head and neck as well. So I'll go through this, and at any point that if I feel like she's bracing on me with her head and neck, I'm going to go back and fix that, because if she's bracy there, she's going to get bracy in her shoulders. So it would be the same thing for me. I would just walk around here in a circle, my legs scissored like I talked about in the previous video. Inside leg position 3, outside leg position 1, and I bend her like this. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to push her shoulder out of the circle, but keep her bent the way I have her right now. And what that entails is me taking my inside leg, going to position 1, and my outside leg going to position 3. So I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to pick my outside hand up, and I'm going to move this. There we go. There. Okay. She went a few steps, and I'm going to do it again. I'm going to bend her over here. I'm not worried about her giving me her nose. I just want her soft in that bend. There we go. I'll do it again. I'm not really having to put a spur on her. I'm just bumping her with, there, good. And I'll do it again. So right here, when I'm bumping my hands, I'm always giving. I'm not, when she gives, I give. So I'll do that right here standing still. If I want to lay my inside leg here and bend her, and take my outside hand and kind of bump her this way and step her shoulder across. Okay. At any point that if I felt like she was leaning on me and not being soft in her face, I'd go back to my circle exercise and fix her head and neck and soften that up. So then we'll change hands. We'll go over here. I'll walk her back in this circle. My inside leg position 3, my outside leg position 1. Okay, then I'm going to switch. Inside leg position 1, outside leg position 3. And the outside leg is not an active leg, it's just to encourage forward movement. She went all the way around the circle. So I'm going to let her go back on that circle she was going. I always encourage them to follow their nose, even if I'm pushing them out. When we get done, go back and follow their nose. So I'm going to do it again. I'm going to pick her up here. Inside leg position 1, outside leg in position 3. There. I'll do it again. I'll do it again. There we go. So that ties that shoulder into being able to move in and out, and that is so critical for anything you do, really. If you're roping and you got to move your horse off your calf or your cow a little bit, or your steer when you're going up there because they're tight, you can do that. If you're going down the fence in a cow horse deal and you need to pick your horse up and move the shoulder off a little bit because they're shouldering in, you can do that. That's why I say all of this has to be very, very good at a walk, trot, and a lope, and even at a run, because you've got to have control of your horse doing those things. Even as cutters, even though when you're cutting, you can't pick your hand up in the herd, and when you're showing, you can use that inside leg and teach them to move that shoulder over off of that leg, but you got to be able to use your hands to get them to do it. But that exercise is so beneficial to freeing the front end up on a horse, teaching them to really step over and step across with their feet if you're wanting to do a reining turnaround. There's just a lot of benefit to that exercise. And so it's even steering. I mean, if you need to get a horse to going somewhere and they're not listening, you can put your foot up there and kind of bump and get that shoulder to kind of go where it needs to go, instead of hauling on them so much with your hands. And all this is going to relate later to when you go one-handed and you don't have that direct rein that you can pull. You're going to be able to put your legs in a position and be able to shape their body Now it takes a long time. Don't get me wrong, and this isn't something that happens overnight. It's just a long time of doing it, being consistent, doing it over and over and over. But if you do these things and get them very, very solid at it, you'll have a really broke horse. So I appreciate you watching. We'll be back in a bit to do the next exercise. Thanks.